So class, welcome to the lecture number 36 of the course. Lecture 36 of the course. From today, from this lecture number 36, I will start unit number 4. Okay. So I uploaded a combined lecture of this lecture number 33 and 34. That is my last uploaded lecture, which is available on YouTube. So lecture number 35 is the single phase and three phase transformer connection, which I am giving you as a homework. You will study that topic yourself. Okay, and that is lecture number 35. Now lecture number 36, and with this lecture number 36 I will start unit number 4, and the first topic that I will start in this unit, it is rotating magnetic field. Rotating magnetic field in a three-phase induction motor. In a three-phase induction motor. So I will represent this induction motor in a short by IM. Okay, but you will not write it like that, IM. So because of the this scarcity of time, I am using this IM symbol for induction motor. So basically in this chapter, induction motor, in this topic, rotating magnetic field in a three-phase induction motor, in this topic you will study how this rotating magnetic field is developed in the air gap of a three-phase induction motor. What do you mean by air gap? You all must have seen motors at your homes. So it has two parts. One is stationary, which is called as stator, and the other is rotating part, which is called as rotor. Okay, stator is stationary and rotor is rotating. Okay, so what is happening? This rotor is rotating and this stator is stationary. So there is, if I will write like this, I am saying this is stator. Okay, this is stator. In between this stator I have rotor. Okay, this is rotor, and this outer is stator, this inner is rotor, and we have small air gap between these two. Okay, this air gap is important, because if there is no air gap, then while this rotor rotates, it may touch the surface of this inner surface of this stator and it may damage the stator. So we keep the air gap, but some air gap is kept between the stator and rotor, but it is kept as minimum as possible because of certain reason, which you will study in your machines topic. Okay, so I am saying that in this topic you will see how rotating magnetic field is developed in the air gap of a three-phase induction machine. Okay, and second, you will see, you all know what is magnetic field. Okay, rotating magnetic field means, if I am saying I have a magnetic field, it will have some direction. I am saying this pen shows the direction of the magnetic field. Okay, this pointer shows the direction of the magnetic field, means it is direction of the magnetic field is from left of this page towards the right of this page. So rotating magnetic field means this is a magnetic field, but this magnetic field, it will keep on rotating like this. Okay, if this magnetic field keeps on rotating, it is called as rotating magnetic field. And you will also see in this topic that the maximum magnitude of the rotating magnetic field, it is always constant. Okay, which is equal to 1.5 of the flux developed by one phase. Second, what is the second point I am saying? Why the magnitude of field, which field I am talking about? Rotating magnetic, that the magnitude of the field, rotating magnetic field, is always constant. Okay, we will see these two topics, that how rotating magnetic field is developed in the air gap of a three-phase motor in the induction machine, and why the magnitude of this magnetic field, it is always constant. Okay, so these are the two concepts which you will get after after seeing this video. Okay, so let us first draw the stator winding of a three-phase induction machine. What I am doing, I am first drawing the stator winding of a three-phase induction machine. You know, three-phase, we will have three phases. We can name these phases as A, B, C, or R, Y, and B. Okay, both the notations are followed. Some books are following A, B, C, and some are following R, Y, B. Okay, you can take any one. Okay, this I'm talking about the stator winding of a three-phase induction machine. So firstly, let me draw the diagram. A three-phase induction machine stator winding, it is always star connected. Okay, like this. This is my R phase, this is neutral. R phase, this is my Y phase, and this is my B phase. So this is R of supply, this is Y of supply, this is B. So this is my three-phase stator winding and of a three-phase induction motor, and this three-phase winding is supplied from here. It is supplied by a three-phase balanced supply. Okay, so here is a schematic diagram of the stator of a three-phase induction machine. So if you say that a three-phase balanced winding in the stator of the induction machine is shown here. Okay, so what we are doing, we are saying in a three-phase balanced winding, what is a three-phase balanced stator winding? A three-phase balanced winding is a winding which have equal number of turns in all the phases. Okay, and all the three phases, they are supplied by a balanced three-phase supply. Okay, so balanced three-phase winding means balanced three-phase winding means windings have equal number of turns. Okay, and these windings are displaced by 120 degree from each other. Okay, so okay, when these windings which have equal number of turns, that phase R, Y, and B, they have equal number of turns, and these phases are 120 degree apart from each other. This is 120 degree, this is 120 degree, and this is also 120 degree. Okay, so when this winding is supplied by a balanced three-phase supply, we say that we have a balanced three-phase winding. Okay, this is called as the balanced three-phase winding. So here the phase sequence, we are taking R, Y, B. Okay, so this is page number 1. So this is what I told you, this is a balanced three-phase winding. Okay, page number 1. No, page number 2.
Hello.
So page number 2. So this is, I told you that I have a balanced three-phase winding, and a balanced three-phase winding is a winding which has equal number of turns, and the windings are displaced from each other by 120 degree. Okay, and this winding is supplied by a three-phase balanced supply. What is a three-phase balanced supply? Means we have a voltages which are equal in magnitude in all the phases, and these voltages are displaced from each other by 120 degree. Okay, so page number 2, let us see how this rotating magnetic field is developed. So for teaching you this rotating magnetic field concept, First let me draw the one waveform. Okay, so I will draw three-phase waveform. So I'm saying this is my phase A or phase R, VRN. Okay, so VYN, it will start 120 degree after. This is 190 and this is 120. Okay, so this is 120. Where is my calculator? Let me find my calculator. So 120 plus 180. 20 plus 180 is 300. So it will start, first cycle will start from here to 300. This is 270. This is 300. So there's the magnitude is like, so it will start from here. Yes, I'm drawing this in a dotted form. Okay, so from 300 plus 120, 420. This is 360. 180, 180, 360. Sorry, what I'm doing. This is 300 plus 120, 420. 360. 360 plus 420 minus 360. So 60 degree. 360 plus 60, 420. This is 360 plus 60. It will be somewhere around here. So it will complete one cycle like this. Here. Okay, this is VR. This is VY. So the next is VB. RYB. Now YB is 120 degree after VYN. So if I will start from 0, it will start from 240. 240 is here. This is 180. 180 plus 60, 240. 180 plus 60. It will start from here. 240 plus 180, 420. It will be plus 120. It is 420. Am I committing a mistake? RYB na, it will start from 4. This is 120. 240. Yes, 240. It will start from here. 240 plus 120. 2, 3, 60. This is 0. This is 90. This is 120. This is 180. This is 270. So 120 plus 180 is 180 plus 120, 300. This is 300. So this is 300. This is 360. Okay, this is 360 and this is complete. 120 plus 360. T plus 180, 300, 180, 360, 480. It was here 480. 300 plus 180. It was 480. 480 was not here. It was not ending here. I made a mistake. It was ending. So it was starting from here and it was ending 360 plus 480. This is 360 plus 120. 360 plus 90, 450. 450. Yes, this is 480. Okay, right. 360. This is 360 plus 90, 450. 450 minus 90. It is right. Okay. So I have drawn the two waveforms. I am looking for the third waveform. It will start from 240 here. And it will 240 plus 180. It is 420. This is 450. 420 is here, somewhere here. So it will start from here. and it will end here. I will draw it by a dotted line. I will continue increasing it here. Okay, so I am only interested in the positive and this first negative cycle. Okay, this is 420, 240, 240 minus 180, 60. 60 means it should come back here at this point. This one 240. So it will go like this. Like this. Okay, so this is 120. So it will come here like this. This will go like this. Okay, hope it is clear. This is the, I have used 3 different types of lines for this na 3-phase supply. Okay, so this is VYN, this is VBN. You are getting it, small v, because this is a sinusoid na. So I will explain this rotating magnetic field with the help of this diagram. Okay, suppose I am saying on this now what happened, I am saying suppose at time, I will take an instant when time was t was equal to 90 degrees. This is omega t na, omega, this is time, with respect to time I am taking. So with respect to time I am saying when time was equal to 90 degree. Okay, when time was equal to 90 degree, so these are the voltage waveform. Similarly I will have the current waveform. I am saying if IR is given by Im sin omega t, Iy is given by Im sin omega t minus 120 degree. These are the voltage waveforms. Similar will be the current waveforms. Okay, IR, Iy and Ib will be Im sin omega t plus 120 degree. Okay, so I am taking the first instant when omega t was equal to 90 degree. I will start from here. Okay, I will start from here. Case first when omega t was equal to 90 degree. So you know these are the voltages that are induced in the stator windings. So because of these induced voltages, some currents will flow in the stator winding, because we know that these stator winding, they are supplied by a sinusoidal 3-phase voltage. So sinusoidal 3-phase currents will travel in the stator windings. Okay, sinusoidal 3-phase currents. So the sinusoidal 3-phase currents, they will have the same shape like these 3 waves. One, second wave is this, and the third wave is this. Okay, they will have the similar shape. So I am saying, if I am taking R as the reference, I am taking IR is given by, current in the R phase is given by Im sin omega t. What will be the current in the Y phase? I am saying, since this is a balanced system, a balanced 3-phase winding is energized by a balanced 3-phase supply. So the magnitude of the winding in all the 3 magnitude of the current in all the 3 windings, it will be equal. What I am saying, magnitude of the current in all the 3 windings, it will be equal. What is the maximum magnitude? Im. Okay, but they will differ in phase with each other. Now if you will see, what is the phase difference between the current IR and IY? 120 degree. What is the phase difference between the current IR and IB? Plus 120 degree or minus 240 degree. Okay, so I am saying when omega t was equal to 90, what will be IR? IR will be given by Im sin 90. Sin 90 is 0, so IR will be equal to Im. So I am saying when omega t is equal to 90, omega t is equal to 90 is this point. If you will see at this point, the maximum at this point, what is the maximum? What is IR? This is the voltage waveform. Similar will be the current waveform. I am saying this will be IR, this will be IY, and this will be IB. IR, IB, IB. So at omega it is equal to 90 degree. What is IR? IR is equal to maximum value. It is at its maximum value. IR is equal to Im. Okay. What is IY? IY is equal to Im sin omega t minus 120 degree, which is equal to Im sin minus 30, because omega t is equal to 90. 90 minus 120 minus 30. So if you will see this minus 30, sine of minus 30, it is nothing but minus 0.5 Im, minus 0.5 Im. And I will calculate IB as well, is equal to Im sine omega t plus 120, which is Im sine, what is 120 plus 90? 120 plus 90, 210, sine 210. So let us take sine 210. It is sine of 210. It is again minus 0.5. So you will get minus 0.5 Im. Okay. Now look at look what I am saying. I am saying that omega t is equal to 90, IR is equal to Im, IVY is equal to minus 0.5 Im, and IB is equal to minus 0.5 Im. Okay. Look at this diagram. No, when omega t is equal to 90, what is IR? This is IR at its maximum, Im. What is IY? This is IY. Look, what is IY? IY is this point. This is my IY. Okay, this is my IY. What is the magnitude of IY? If you will see magnitude of IY at this point, it is half of its maximum value. So what? And it is in the negative direction, minus, because it is below the zero line now. So that is why it is minus 0.5 Im. Okay, you can see it graphically, okay, in the form of a wave, and you can verify it from here. Okay, now the third is the current in the phase B, IB. This is IB. Look, this is IB. Where is IB? IB. When omega t is equal to 90, this is the value of IB. IB is also in the negative region. Okay, below 0 means negative. Okay, and what is the magnitude of IB? Again, half of its maximum value. So it is again negative and half of its maximum value, Im. Okay, remember here we are taking the R phase as the reference. Okay, now tell me, these are the sinusoidal currents that are flowing in the three-phase winding of the stator at omega t is equal to 90 degree. Okay, so because of these three-phase currents, okay, these currents, okay, sinusoidal currents, sinusoidal flux will be generated in the respective phases. Okay, and the magnitude of that flux, it will corresponds to the current that is flowing in the respective phases. So I am saying, if because of the current, because we know that flux is directly proportional to current and number of turns, Ni by L. Okay, I am saying number of turns are equal in all the three windings, R, Y and B phases. Means three windings, we have three windings in three phases. So number of turns are equal. So I am saying, and current flowing in the three windings are Im, minus 0.5 Im and minus 0.5 Im. So what will the flux is? Phi R, IR will produce a flux which will be equal to phi max. Phi Y will be equal to minus 0.5 max or value of maximum flux, and phi B will also be equal to the half of the maximum flux. Okay, so phi R is phi M, phi Y is minus 0.5 M, and phi B is also equal to minus 0.5 phi M. Why? I told you why. Because I told you that the flux is, I told you that the flux is phi R, phi and phi B. I am saying the flux is due to the currents IR, I1 and IB. So I am saying the flux is due to the currents in the windings. Okay, the flux is due to the current in the windings. These are the fluxes due to the currents that are flowing in the windings. So depending upon the current, we will have the fluxes. So if we have the maximum current correspond to the maximum flux current, this is the maximum flux that is produced in phase R. So corresponding to the current IY, since current in phase Y is equal to half of the maximum current, okay, so flux will be also half of the maximum flux. Similarly in the phase B, but with negative sign. So if we will see, if I will draw the phasors here for this phi R and phi Y and phi B, we know that what is phi total? Phi total is nothing but phi R plus phi Y plus phi B. Okay, so I have to calculate phi total, which is nothing but phi R plus phi Y by phi B. So I will draw the phasors for them and I will calculate the phi t. Suppose I am saying this is the direction of R, this is the direction of y and this is the direction of b. So this is my r, this is y, this is b. So when omega t is equal to 90, what is the flux in the r winding? It is r phase phi r, maximum flux. It is here, I am saying it is phi max. So what is the flux in the y winding? Flux minus 0.5 phi m. Minus 0.5 is somewhere here. If I am saying this, I am saying this much is phi m, minus 0.5 will be half of that. So it will be somewhere here. It is minus 0.5. It is minus 0.5 phi m. Similarly, in phase B, I will get minus 0.5 phi m. You got it? So this is minus 0.5, this is minus 0.5. If I will reverse the direction, if I will take this is, I am saying y, this I will say this is y dash, this is b, and I will say this is b dash. So this is minus 0.5 phi m, so this will be 0.5 phi m. And this is minus 0.5 phi m in this b phase, I will represent it here, it is 0.5 phi m. Now I will again redraw this here. Now instead of these two, this and this, I will use this and this. Okay. So this is my r, this was my y dash, and this was my b dash. This was my y dash, this was b dash. This is 0.5 phi max. This is 0.5 phi max. This is my phi max. So one more thing here, we are saying this is 120 degree, this is 120 degree, this is 120 degree. So if I am drawing this line, y dash line is bisecting this angle into two halves, so this will be 60 degree. And this b dash line is bisecting this angle into two equal halves, so this angle will also be 60 degree and this will also be 60 degree. So this is my 60 degree and this is my 60 degree. Okay. So what will be my phi total? Phi total will be nothing but phi max. So if you will resolve this into two rectangular components, I am saying this is one vector, this is another, and this is third. Okay. So it will have two components, phi m, 0.5 m cos 60, which is in this direction, and 0.5 phi m sin 60, which is in this direction. I will resolve it into two rectangular components first. So this is my r, this is my phi m. So this is my 0.5 phi m. Again I have another here, it is 0.5 phi m. This is 60 degree, this is 60. So I will get one here, one component of this here, it will be 0.5 phi m cos 60, and another component will be here, it will be 0.5 phi m sin 60. Similarly, I will have two components for this 0.5 phi m. One will be in this direction, it will be again 0.5 phi m cos 60, and another will be in this direction, 0.5 phi m sin 60 degree. Okay, so this sin 60 and this sin 60, they are in opposite direction, they will cancel each other. So phi total will be equal to nothing but phi m plus 0.5 phi m cos 60 plus 0.5 phi m cos 60. So I will take phi m plus phi m common. 0.5 into cos 60 will be 0.25 plus 0.25. Okay, this is my page number 3rd. 0.25 plus 0.25. So my phi total will be phi m plus phi m multiplied by 0.5. So phi total will be equal to phi m plus 0.5 phi m. So my phi total flux will be equal to 1.5 phi m. Okay, there are two things you must note here. Okay. Okay. Okay, there are two things which you must note here. Number one, that the resultant flux phi total is equal to 1.5 phi m. Okay, where phi m is the maximum flux in any phase. Okay, so and phi total is nothing but 1.5 phi m. Got it? So what is the direction of phi m? In which direction phi m is rotating when omega t is equal to 90? In which direction it is rotating? Tell me. I told you it is in this direction. Okay, this is phi. If I will again draw one more diagram after this, it will come out like this. This is my R phase. So this is coming out as, this was phi m, and this was the summation of 2 vectors which was coming out 0.5 phi m. So this is 0.5 phi m I am showing here. This phi m I am showing here, and this is my resultant flux phi total in this direction, phi m plus 0.5 phi m, which is nothing but 1.5 phi m. So it is 1.5 phi m. What is the angle of this? If I am saying that R is my reference, what is the angle of phi t? It will be 1.5 phi m angle 0. Got it? Because we are measuring angle with respect to R phase. So it is coming out as equal to 0. Case 2, no, in case 2, I am saying when omega t was equal to, say, 120 degree, okay. When omega t was equal to 120 degree. Whereas the first case is here when I am saying omega t is equal to 90. In the second case, I am saying when omega t is equal to 120 degree. So what will be IR? IR will be equal to IM sine 120 degree. Let me draw it. Sine of 120 degree is nothing but 0.866, which is equal to 0.866 IM. So similarly, I will get a flux corresponding to this current, which will be phi R will be equal to 0.866 phi m, where phi m is the maximum flux corresponding to the maximum current IM. Okay, and 0.866 is the 0.866 phi m is the flux corresponding to the current IR. Okay, so when omega t was 120, what was IY? IY is equal to IM into sine of omega t minus 120 degree. Omega t is 120, minus 120 is 0, sine 0 is 0, so it is coming out 0. So if current is 0, what will be the flux in this phase phi y? It will also be equal to 0. Are you getting it? So it is also equal to 0. So third is IR, IY, IB. It is IM sine omega t 120 plus 120. So it is sine 240. So sine 240 is nothing but minus 0.86 equal to negative 0.866 IM. So corresponding to this current, we will get flux in phase B equal to minus 0.866 phi m. Okay. So now let us draw the vectors for this. So this is my R. I am saying, no, I will draw it in a dotted form. This is R. This is Y. This is B. R, Y, and B. Now listen carefully. What is IR? IR is equal to 0.868. Sorry, phi R is equal to 0. This is my phi R, which is equal to 0.866 phi m. Phi Y is 0. What is phi B? Phi B is minus 0.866 phi B, minus 0.866 phi m. So if I am saying it is minus 0.866 phi m in this direction, minus 0.866 phi m in this direction. So if instead of negative I want to take positive sign, so I will take on this side. It will be like this on this side. Okay. So if this is minus 0.866 phi m, what will be this? This will be 0.866 phi m. If this is negative, this is positive. So I will take it a bit higher like this. Okay. This vector, because I have to make this vector nearly equal to this vector. Okay. Now I can take the vector sum of 2. I know that this is 60 degree. Okay, this is 60 degree. I have two equal vectors. So you know what is the resultant vector which I will get here. So this is my phi t. This is my phi t, phi total. So my resultant flux phi t will be equal to 2 multiplied by 0.866 phi m cos, what is the angle between the two? Okay, cos 60. Let us see what is the value. So cos 60 multiplied by 2 multiplied 0.866. It is cos 30 multiplied by 2 multiplied 0.866. Sorry. So it will be 0.86 is phi m. So it is between these two vectors now. So this is the total angle is 60, so cos 60 by 2. Okay. You know that. So what you are getting, you will get that phi total is equal to 1.499. So 1.499 phi m. So this 1.499 is nothing but 1.5 phi m. Okay. Look here. Just look here. Earlier, when omega t was equal to 0, what was the angle? Angle was 0. Now, when omega t is equal to how much? 120 degree. When I am taking omega t equal to 120 degree, what will be the angle? Okay. What will be the angle? This is 60. This is R phase and this is my B dash. Okay. If B is here, this I will consider this as B dash. So this angle is 60 and resultant is here. So this resultant, what is it making angle with R? It is making this angle, and this angle is equal to 30 degree. So phi total in phasor will be 1.5 phi m angle minus 30. Okay. So look here. When omega t was 0 degree, magnitude was 1.5 phi m, angle was 0. When omega t was 120 degree, magnitude is again 1.5 m, but angle is minus 30. Means earlier the phasor was in this direction. Okay, in the direction of R, it was in this direction. Now it has rotated through 30 degree. From this, it has rotated to 30 degree. Got it? Means it is rotating. Okay, with respect to omega t, it is rotating, but the magnitude is constant, but angle is changing. So next, check the third case when omega t was equal to 150 degree. This was page number 3rd, page number 4th. It is easy, but it is a bit lengthy. Page number 5. So I'm saying when omega t, case 3rd, when omega t was equal to 150 degree. So IR is nothing but Im sine 150, which is equal to sine of 150, sine 150, which is equal to 0.5 I max. Corresponding to this current, I will get the flux phi r is equal to 0.5 phi max IR. No, IY is equal to Im sine omega t is 150. 150 minus 120. 150 minus 120 is 30. So sine 30, 0.5 sine 30. Again sine, I'm getting sine 30 now. 4th page number for 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Yes. So sine 30 is 0.5 means 0.5 Im. Corresponding to this, I will get phi y is equal to 0.5 phi m. Now what will be phi IB? Im sine 150 plus 120, sine 50 plus 120, it is equal to 150 plus 120, 150, 250, 270. 270, it will be minus 1 minus Im. Okay, minus 1 into Im means minus Im. So corresponding to this, I will get flux in phase B as negative flux minus phi max. Okay, so now let us draw the phasors for this case. So this is my R. Okay, so I am saying I have here 0.5 phi m. This is my Y. This is R. This is Y. So here again 0.5, it should be of the same length as here. This is my 0.5 phi m, and then I have a B phasor. Where is B phasor? B phasor is here, somewhere here. Okay, so B is minus, here I have minus phi m, so it will be of double the magnitude, so it will be here somewhere minus phi m. So this is minus, but I want to convert into positive, so I will take it in this direction. So it will come out like this. So this will be my, suppose this is phi m. Okay, yes, this will be my phi m. Okay, so I have three vectors: 0.5 im, 0.5 phi m, and 0 and phi m. Okay, this was minus phi m. I rotated it by 180 degrees, so it becomes phi m here. Okay, so okay, so this angle between these two, I am considering first these two. These two is how much? 120 degree. So phi total will be, and the resultant of this 0.5 phi m and 0.5 phi m, it will also coincide in this direction. Okay, so I will take phi m is equal to phi m this plus, because resultant of this vector and this vector, it will also coincide on this vector. Okay, so it will be phi m plus, I will take the resultant of these two, it will be 2 0.5 phi m cos, this is 120, so cos 120 by 2 cos 60. So I will get, what I will get, cos 60.5 multiplied by 0.5 multiplied by 2, it will get 0.5. So I will get phi t is equal to phi max plus 0.5 phi max, which will be equal to 1.5 phi max. So phi total will be equal to 1.5 phi max. And what will be the, so what if I am saying this is 0.5, this is will become 0.5 phi max, this is phi max, so phi total will be somewhere here. So I am saying this will be my phi total. So what is the angle which phi total is making with respect to r? It is 60 degree here. Okay, it is 60 degree, you can see. So what will be the angle of this phi t? It will be minus 60. Okay, so now fourth case, case 4, when omega t was equal to 180 degrees. Okay, so when omega t was equal to 180 degree, what was IR? IR is equal to Im sine 180. Sine 180 is 0, it is 0. So phi r will be equal to 0. Iy equal to Im sine 180 minus 120 means sine 60. Sine 60 is 0.866 is equal to 0.866 Im. Corresponding to this flux, current, I will get the flux phi y is equal to 0.866 phi m, and IB will be equal to Im sine 180 plus 120 means sine 300. So it will get sine of 300 will be equal to minus 0.866 minus 0.866 Im. So corresponding to this current, I will get flux in phase B as minus 0.866 phi m. So again, let us draw the vector diagram. R is equal to 0, so I will take it only for reference purpose. R, what is y? Y is in this direction. So what is the value of y? It is 0.866. It is 0.866 phi m. This is y. So B is in this direction. But you know this B, it has a negative value. So to make it positive, I will draw B opposite to this side. It was coming out in this side. Suppose it is coming here, equal to this. This is 0.866 phi m. Okay, so the resultant of this vector and this vector, it will come out somewhere here. Okay, so this will be my phi total. So phi total will be equal to 2 times 0.866 phi m cos, what is the angle between them? 60. So it will be cos 60 by 2 cos 30. You know that formula, vector formula. I am not repeating the formula here. Cos 30 multiplied 0.866 multiplied by 2, which is coming at phi total is equal to 1.499 phi max, or it is equal to phi t is equal to 1.5 phi max. What is the angle which this phi total is making with r? It is equal to 90 here. Angle minus 90. Okay, so you saw that when omega t was equal to 0, phi t was in this direction. Okay, when omega t was equal to 120 degree, phi t was in this direction and it was making an angle of 30 degree with respect to r. And when omega t was equal to 150 degree, phi t was in this direction, which was making an angle of how much? I think 60. Yes, 60 degree with respect to r. And when omega t was equal to 80, so phi t is in this direction and it is making an angle of 90 degree with respect to r. So means what I am trying to say here, I am trying to say that the magnitude is remaining same, but the vector has rotated from this position to this position. So this is a resultant magnetic field is in this direction initially. Now it has rotated through 90 degree. Similarly, if I will increase omega t, it will again rotate like this. Okay, it will keep on rotating. So this is how rotating magnetic field is dwelt in a three-phase induction machine. Now I will draw the chart to conclude this. This is omega t, this is phi total, and this is theta. Omega t when 0, phi total was 1.5 and angle was 0. When omega t was 120 degree, phi total was again 15 and angle was minus 30. 1.5. When omega t was 150, phi t was again magnitude 1.5 and angle was minus 60. And when omega t was 180, resultant was again 1.5 and angle was minus 90 degrees. So here you can see the magnitude, rotating magnetic field, it has a constant magnitude, but it is changing its angle at every instant. Okay, means it is rotating. So this is 0, so then 30 degree, then 60 degree, and then 90 degree. When omega t changes from 0 to 180 degree. So this is all. You also draw it at your homes, okay, because it is a very important topic. You also draw it at your home. So this is all about lecture number 36. So see you in the next lecture. In case you have any confusion, you can call me. Okay, thank you very much.